Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Monday, September 22nd, 2025. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. Clinical management of rape and sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, will be the focus of a 5-day training workshop for healthcare providers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The initiative is being conducted under the UNFPA's Build Back Equal project in collaboration with the Government of Canada. As part of the project, a quantity of specialized equipment was also handed over to the Ministry of Education to support the enhancement of ongoing medical training efforts. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Dr. Roger Duncan, medical officer at the Ministry of Health, said the training will strengthen existing programs and improve the country's capacity to respond to cases of rape and STIs.
We've done significant work in building a policy around the clinical management of rape. We'd had several conversations about this, and I think this would just be, the icing that we need to complete this body of work that we've embarked upon. The second thing, the detection and treatment and prevention of STIs, I think reflects the government's commitment to decentralizing care, to making care available to the people who need it. And more than that, it talks about because the CMO speaks a lot about human resources for health. It talks a lot about how we're going to be sharing tasks and how we're going to be expanding the role of not just the healthcare provider, but people outside of health who are taking part in this exercise this week. So we're going to bring care closer to the people, and we're going to allow people who not previously been involved in that kind of care to be involved in that kind of care. And that way we could truly talk about giving care along the life course. So you could interact with a pregnant mother, interact with a newborn, interact with a diabetic, hypertensive patient, also speak about the risk of sexually transmitted infections and how to do this.
Jane Gibson, liaison officer for the United Nations Population Fund, the UNFPA, in Barbados and the OACS, addressed participants on the importance of their role in responding to sensitive cases involving rape or sexually transmitted infections.
I want us to remember that clinical care must begin with dignity. The survivors deserve to be seen, heard, and also believed. Today, as part of this opening, we're also going to be formally handing over to the Government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines a number of sexual and reproductive health products. These were also funded from the Government of Canada through the Global Affairs Canada Division. And these supplies will be critical, as PS already mentioned, for training as well as to address any access gaps in the country. I also want to take this we are here in a professional context, but I want us to think about how do we transfer these knowledge and skills to those in our immediate space, our families, our communities. I'm thinking about the mother whose daughter had an STI and was not aware. The mother whose son had an STI and was not aware until it was too late. These are actual cases of which I'm aware that I'm referring to, not in your context, but in another Eastern Caribbean country.
This marks the second time such training has been conducted for local health workers as part of the broader effort to standardize medical responses and improve patient outcomes. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Nurse Gittins, also spoke at the event, expressing confidence that continued professional development would contribute to lower rates of rape and STIs in the country.
We expect to see improvement in patient outcomes, a reduction in the incidence of STIs, and a more robust and compassionate response to cases of gender-based violence. The skills you will gain and the products you will now have access to will be instrumental in achieving these goals. I urge all of those individuals who would be involved in the training, which is 90% of the people in the room currently, to give of your best, to take the training seriously.
Over the next 5 days, participants will engage in a comprehensive curriculum that includes medical protocols for treating survivors of sexual violence, management of sensitive and traumatic cases, STI treatment, and post-exposure prophylaxis or PEP, maintaining a confidentiality, providing care in a non-judgmental and supportive manner. The workshop is designed to not only improve clinical competence, but also promote compassionate care practices, ensuring that survivors are treated with dignity and respect. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Port Authority is set to undergo a major restructuring in preparation for the opening of the new Kingston port, scheduled to become operational by the end of October 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salves made the announcement recently, stating that a port restructuring bill will be tabled at the next sitting of Parliament on September 29, 2025. The Prime Minister Gonsalves explained that the restructuring must be done before the new port becomes operational, noting that the Port Authority will remain the overarching body responsible for managing all ports across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but there will be 2 new entities attached specifically to the new facility. That individuals have already been selected to manage the various entities that will be established under the new port structure.
The Cabinet gave the Attorney General instructions to set up a company called the St. Vincent Modern Port Operation Company. That's the company which is going to own this asset. We are transferring this asset to this company owned by the state. And the glove factory asset, those are the principal assets, plus of course the equipment and all the rest of it which belong to the Port Authority. And the land which is up by the old port in Kingston, we are putting that land in another company called the Kingston Foreshore Development Company. And I'll explain why we're doing that. Then, of course, the Port Authority will still exist because the Port Authority will be not an entity which owns and operates the ports, but which would regulate all ports in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The entity which will manage all the ports is the company which is owning and operating this modern port. And there are names which have already been put forward for the membership of those boards. And the chairman, I can tell you that because Maff Russell has been such a good job, I want Maff to chair the company which is going to operate this port. And that will be inside of the documents which are registered at SIPO, the Commerce and Intellectual Property Office. And another very distinguished business person, doesn't have a link with any particular business anymore. He was a chief executive officer of a big company. He's going to be the man who is going to be in charge of the Kingston Foreshore Development Company.
According to Dr. Gonsalves, the new port is on track to open before the end of October 2025, marking a major milestone in the country's infrastructural development. In addition, the government has already received the keys to 2 critical facilities within the port complex, signaling that the final preparations are underway ahead of the official opening. Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salves and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Consumer Affairs, Frederick Stevenson, held courtesy meetings with Her Excellency Gabriel Mion Truss's ambassador to Austria to the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States, the OACS, and Thomson Mayor Harting on Friday, September 19, 2025. A news release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the discussions focused on strengthening bilateral relations and exploring new avenues for collaboration between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Austria. Key areas highlighted included climate resilience, technology cooperation, and capacity building initiatives. The release says these engagements reaffirm the government's commitment to advancing international partnerships that promote sustainable development and mutual growth. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Consumer Affairs says it will continue to pursue opportunities that deepen cooperation with global partners for the benefit of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The governing Unity Labour Party ULP candidate for the Southern Grenadines, Shavon Stewart, says the time has come for the party to take over representation for the constituency in Parliament. Speaking at an event held on Saturday for the opening of her constituency office on Union Island, Stewart expressed confidence in the growing support for her candidacy, pointing to the enthusiastic turnout as a sign that change is on its way for the people of the Southern Grenadines.
Your presence here tonight says to me that Southern Grenadines, and by extension Union Island, has recognized that there is time for change. Am I right? All right, great. So they ask, why should we change? Why not? Why not? Exactly, Ms. Cox, because we're not getting the representation that we want from the elected. Not Mr. Snag. Mr. Snag did his part, and he wasn't the elected person. The elected person who continues to tell us over and over, what can I do? My hands are tied. He not going and beg. All right. He said, I was in Union Island.
Addressing the issue of housing, Stewart provided an update on the ongoing development efforts on Union Island in the wake of Hurricane Beryl, which caused widespread destruction earlier in this year. She revealed that lands have already been allocated for housing development, although a final decision is still pending on whether those lots will be sold or distributed through other means. Stewart noted that so far 27 new homes have been constructed to replace those destroyed by Hurricane Beryl. She said in addition to that, several homes have undergone repairs as part of the government's rebuilding initiative.
If your house was destroyed in Beryl, we are going to work with you. We are going to help you to rebuild your home. They are the prefab houses. The frames, 5 houses have arrived. Those are the first 5 houses. We did not say we were going to give Union Island 5 houses. We said the first 5 houses have arrived. So we ask that you bear with us. We are working for you, and we will continue to work for you. And it's not just Union Island. It's Canawan. It's Myro. I spent last weekend on Myro. I heard the people of Myro. They want a little fish market with a vegetable market attached to it in the village so that they could sell their produce. And I am listening, and I am working with the people to get the message, to have discussion with the Prime Minister to see how we can best meet your needs.
Stewart also confirmed that the government's distribution of prefabricated homes will continue not only on Union Island but across other islands in the Southern Grenadines as well.
I've heard from the Minister of Housing that the Chief Surveyor sent down a team to Union Island, and they were successful in getting 21 pieces of land. So the cabinet will make a decision about that land. How is it going to be handled? Whether it's going to be sold or distributed. And we ask that you be patient with us because we are working towards it. For those who are talking about their homes, we are rebuilding. We have rebuilt, fixed between rebuilding and fixing, not putting on roofs. I'm talking about construction, fixing major walls, rebuilding houses from scratch, whether it be concrete and mortar, brick and concrete houses or whether it be ply houses. We have built over 27 houses. All not complete, but we have 27 projects going on right now. And we only have that many contractors. So we can only move as fast as we have contractors to do so.
The opposition New Democratic Party NDP candidate for North Central Windward, Chieftain Neptune, has reaffirmed his commitment to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, pledging to focus on improving lives not only within the constituency but across the nation. Speaking during a village meeting in Chile over the weekend, Neptune, who will be coming up against Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salves in the upcoming general elections, emphasized that his approach to politics is grounded in service and inclusivity.
I had one rule, and that is to make sure every single person receive a package, yellow or red. And that is the kind of representation I want to bring to you, the people of North Central Windward. You come to Chieftain Neptune. You don't have to show me a card. You just have to tell me your problem. And I will tell you this, and anyone who knows me knows this. Once I could help you, I am going to help you. If I can't, I will tell you I can't. But I'm going to look for a solution to come back to you and help you. That is the type of representation I want to bring to you, the people, right here in Chile. I don't see red, I don't see yellow.
Neptune went on to outline key development plans, placing a strong emphasis on youth empowerment and community engagement. One of his immediate priorities, he said, is to upgrade the Chile playing field, transforming it into a properly equipped facility where young people can hone their skills and pursue their sporting dreams.
And this is a no-brainer. I cannot see for the life of me why that park don't have lights. Chile Park is an iconic park here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not just North Central Windward. And I'm sure the Major could attest to that. So the New Democratic Party will ensure that lights are right there on the Chile playing field. But not just that, we'll ensure that the youths of Chile have access to that playing field. We will ensure that the youths of Chile have access to the hard court. We will ensure when is the school period, we know when to open it and how much time to give. When school is out, we know we have to start early and give them access. That's the only way our young people can harness their skills.
He also addressed the long-standing infrastructural issues in the area, particularly the unfinished sea defense project, which has been a point of concern for residents.
This current party is visionless. They have no vision. I don't think they care to have any. They just want to fool the people of St. Vincent. But they can't fool us no longer. To the people of Bronxtown, they started the sea defense and they stopped at Bronxtown Field. You could understand that? They stopped at the park at Bronxtown when they could have go further and rehabilitate that park, fix. You understand what I'm saying? and make that field into a cricket field. So we have the football field here, and then we have the cricket grounds down there. You played cricket there? Exactly. That is a next iconic field here in North Central Windward. So note, the people of Chile, I have plans for you, the people.
Neptune promised to serve with fearlessness, transparency, and unwavering dedication, regardless of political affiliation. The Inland Revenue Department is reminding all property owners that property tax payments for the 2025 tax period are due on or before September 30th, 2025. The department has warned that failure to pay by the due date will result in penalties and may also trigger enforcement action. In a news release issued last Thursday, the Inland Revenue Department noted a continuing decline in the compliance rate among property owners for the most recent tax period ending September 30th, 2024. The compliance rate fell to just 56%, prompting concern within the department. As a result, the Inland Revenue Department says it will be implementing a robust, sustained, and widespread enforcement program aimed at reversing the trend of declining compliance. The Inland Revenue Department stated that they are stepping up efforts to ensure that all property owners meet their legal obligations as part of its enhanced enforcement strategy. The Inland Revenue Department announced it will begin by targeting the top 150 property tax defaulters, including both domestic and commercial properties. This group represents property owners with the largest outstanding balances and those with prolonged history of non-compliance. These taxpayers will be subject to targeted enforcement measures until their outstanding property tax liabilities are fully settled. Among the primary enforcement tools available to the Inland Revenue Department is the applications of liens on properties with unpaid taxes. A lien is a legal claim placed on a property when taxes remain unpaid, giving the Inland Revenue Department the authority to secure payment directly from the value of the property. The department explained that liens are a critical mechanism to protect government revenue and enforce tax compliance. Other enforcement methods may include but are not limited to seizure of assets, garnishing of bank accounts, deductions from salaries or wages, withholding of rental income. The Inland Revenue Department is urging all property owners with outstanding tax balances to act immediately and to bring their accounts up to date and avoid enforcement action. Those who are uncertain about their property tax status are encouraged to contact the Inland Revenue Department directly or visit its office to verify their account details. This year's Everything Vincy Expo will carry a strong family focus, according to Nadine Agard-Juliet, Director of the Export Development at Invest SVG. Speaking ahead of the highly anticipated national showcase, Agard-Juliet revealed that the 2025 edition will introduce a new feature called Vincy Fills, a locally inspired initiative aimed at adding a fresh and dynamic element to the expo. She emphasized that the event continues to evolve in ways not only to promote Vincentian products and services, but also to foster an inclusive and engaging atmosphere for people of all ages.
So Everything Vincy this year is going to be very family focused. As you guys know, every year we try to bring something that the entire family, an event that the entire family can enjoy, from our entertainments every night. This year we have something different. We have a local content movie night, where we will have an exciting lineup of selected films. So we invite you to come and relax under the stars and enjoy Vincentian creativity on our big screen. You know, we want you to come out and see what Vincentians have been doing in terms of creating films and creating content for local content for our people.
Now in its 8th year, the Everything Vincy Expo has become the premier trade and culture event in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, drawing thousands of attendees, including members of the diaspora and regional businesses. Interest, the event is organized by Invest SVG as part of a broader push to stimulate economic activity, support local entrepreneurship, and attract investment. Igor Juliet also encouraged broad participation from across the business community, particularly small and emerging enterprises.
We created the Table Village from the perspective that if you have a new product, something that you just created at home, you want to know how it will do on the market. Because right now you're only giving out, or you're only selling to people who know you're making it. So that's not a proper test of your market. We invite you to take a table. That way you could, you try your hand, you do your branding, you do your business cards, you label your brand out, your t-shirt, you come out and you see the reception that your product has within a sample of the domestic market, because that's what everything Vincy is created to mimic. It's created to show you a sample of the products and services that are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It will allow you and afford you the opportunity to see how well your product will do in our domestic market. If you get orders, if you get repeat sales and all that. So if you're interested, we recommend wholeheartedly that you aggregate product. Aggregate product, because most people sell out fairly quickly.
Right.
So if you try your best to see how you can make as much as possible and come out so that you have stock for the 5 days.
In recent years, the Expo has expanded its scope, including themed exhibitions, live entertainment, children's activities, and culinary showcases, all designed to celebrate Vincentian innovation and identity. The addition of a family-friendly theme in 2025 is expected to boost attendance and deepen community engagement, with preparations already underway. Igor Juliet urged interested participants to act quickly.
We don't want you all to wait till the last minute, because like I told you, the waiting area is very small. You cannot clog up in there. We don't want you to clutter up the parlor, and the house must look nice. So come out, take your time. That way we have a big screen in the office, a big white electronic something. And you come in and you look at the layout, because we have all the booths numbered per building. And you come and you pick your booth. And if you come now, don't wait till the last minute when you have little to no selection. Come now when you have a fair bit. You could go in building A, building C, building D, building E. We have quite a few buildings. So come out and select where you want to go in reasonable comfort.
This year's theme is centered on community, creativity, and family connections, is expected to further broaden the Expo's appeal to the 2025 Everything Vincy Expo. Will run for 5 days from October 23rd to 27th at its newly announced permanent home at the Diamond Industrial Estate. Registration and vendor details are available through Invest SVG.